Tom Gozlowski, Goz, and Wolf here, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. And, of course, 104.5 The Team is your home for the New York Yankees here in the Capital Region. And earlier this week, Alex Rodriguez spent some time with the Yankees' AA affiliate, the Trenton Thunder. Joining us on the phone lines, he's a member of the Trenton Thunder, Dan Fiorito. Dan, compare a game with A-Rod on the team to a normal game for the Trenton Thunder.
How we doing, guys? Thanks for having me. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was obviously got a lot more media in town. I mean, we have a few beat writers to begin with, but obviously circus starts, and you got the cameras flashing for BP and stuff. So it's a cool environment, and Al was awesome with us. I mean, obviously a huge name like that, that you're going to be able to get a lot out of him and just talk hitting with him. I mean, he couldn't love the game any more than he does. So being able to learn from a guy like that is obviously surreal and a really cool environment for all of us minor leaguers. And at the end of the day, too, we also got a really nice dinner on compliments of Al, so that was pretty special.
Yeah, we heard that he does that. Whenever this has happened to him, he takes everybody on the team out to eat.
Yeah, he was great about it. I mean, he actually rehabbed in 2013, I believe, in Tampa, and he got us a bunch of Ruth's Chris steaks. So last couple of nights, we had some good spreads as well, and obviously something that the team is very thankful for.
Now, did he stay and eat with you?
Well, yeah, I think he wound up, he had to go do his own work and stuff. He was hitting in the cages and stuff post game, but he was always around and, eating with us before the games and stuff and talking about the game and a lot of his experiences and some of the stuff he's learned. He's very open to talking with us, and that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, the food is obviously great, but at the end of the day, it's more the knowledge and just being able to talk to him about different situations or approach when he's up at bat. And that's something that I'm most appreciative of.
A member of the Trenton Thunder, Dan Fiorito, AA affiliate of the New York Yankees, joins us here on 104.5 The Team. And Dan, not to throw anybody under the bus, but is that usual for major leaguers to take minor league guys out to dinner, or is Alex Rodriguez kind of doing something beyond what maybe usually happens on rehab assignments?
Well, usually when the rehab guys that come down, they usually they buy spread for us that night, so we don't have to pay dues that day, and they order they cater food in like a really good meal. So I mean, every guy is different, but for the most part, big league guys do take care of the minor league guys, which is awesome. And A-Rod is, he's obviously one of the best at doing that.
All right, now you don't have to answer this. Who was the worst? When they
no, I can't. Put me on the spot. No, I can't do that because.
How about rhymes with? We'll do what rhymes with. We'll say a name, and you can, I know I don't want to get you in trouble. Then, can you say without saying who it was, a negative experience you had when a major leaguer came down?
For the most part, everyone here with the Yankees has been great, to be honest. But I mean, I've heard a bunch of situations in other organizations where guys will come over and they just they act like they're better and they don't want to really talk about the biggest thing we're looking for from minor leaguers is we're looking just for advice. So if they come down, even if they don't take care of dinner that night, whatever it may be, if they're willing to give their advice and the experience that they've had, I mean that's something that we're looking to.
Dan Fiorito, member of the Trenton Thunder, joins us here on 104.5 The Team, the AA affiliate of the New York Yankees. And Dan, you have a pretty amazing story. You're a New York guy, and we'll get to that a little bit later on. But for the Yankee fans here in the Capital Region who are looking forward to finding out those future Yankees, besides Dan Fiorito, who are some of the names on your team right now that may have an impact with the Major League roster in the next few years?
Oh, we've had so much talent roll through here in the past years. I mean, you look at Scranton right now, guys like Aaron Judge, Jay Cave. Obviously, Red Snyder just went up and made another debut this season. And I mean, he went to the wild card game last year, starting after being in Double-A a couple of years ago. So seen a bunch of guys roll through. But right now here, we got Dustin Fowler, obviously one of our bigger prospects, center fielder, can go get it in the outfield. He can do everything. He's pretty impressive talent. And then just up the middle, we're strong. Cito Culver, Tyler Wade, Tyler Austin on the corner. I mean, we just got a bunch of guys, but our pitching has been the biggest thing that's helped us see success this year. I mean, we got Dietrich Enns on the mound, who's been really promising. Our bullpen has been great. And another starter, Ronald Herrera, that we picked up in a trade, he's done phenomenal for us. Threw 8 innings, no hit the other night or a couple of weeks ago. So we've had a bunch of great starting pitching. Probably, I'd imagine, the best in the league at this point.
Dan, I just noticed you're from Yonkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really close to the stadium.
I grew up in Riverdale.
No kidding.
Yeah, we used
really
to go to Yonkers to drink.
Yeah. That's great.
The stadium was about 20 minutes from my house. Which, as a Bronx boy, you know, it's so easy to get there. You hop on the train and you're there. You can go when I was 12 and 13 years old, I was going to games alone.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Those are my greatest memories, too, taking the subway to the stadium. I want to see Old-Timers Day, all that stuff. A lot of fun.
Yeah, that really was, Dan. So did Alex Rodriguez did you ask him or have a chance to ask him any advice? And if so, what was it?
For me, something that I talked to him about was just about, like, approach and just little stuff for hitting. I mean, something I talked to him about that I had heard from my hitting coach, PJ here, Pilitary. He's been my hitting coach for 2 years now. He's great. He's, worked with guys like Greg Bird and Aaron Judge and these guys. We've all loved him. And he talked to me about A-Rod, how he talked about breathing a lot in his swing and how it kept him free and loose and exhaling through contact and little stuff like that. So, and he told me this in, like, weeks prior, even last year. So when he got into town, I was like, well, here's a perfect opportunity. Like, let me hear it from the source, So I asked him about that, and it was great to hear his feedback.
Dan, we'll fit on this a little bit. Dan Fiorito joining us, member of the AA affiliate for the New York Yankees, 104.5, the team. That's the Trenton Thunder. Dan, you're from Yonkers. You're a Yankee fan growing up. You attended Manhattanville College in New York. So you grow up cheering for the Yankees. You're a Division III player, and you get a chance to play for your favorite team. What has this been like for you through the last few years, getting a chance to basically live out a childhood dream?
Yeah, it's definitely been a surreal experience. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, especially for my first year. I mean, all those guys were players. I mean, they were the guys that I looked up to. I had pictures, posters in my room of them, like Derek Jeter, Mariano, Andy Pettitte, guys, pictures that I started playing shortstop behind. Jeter was rehabbing in 13, so I got to hit and field with him as he made his recovery, and that was all crazy to me. So from then going forward, I mean, it's been a wild ride, but things are a little different now, just because I've gotten more used to being around the players that are there now. I've played with a lot of them for a while, but the coolest part for me has been having guys that I looked up to as a kid are my coaches now, guys that I just watched on TV. I remember my first year in High A, which was Tampa Yankees. I had Louis Soho as my manager. Marcus Timms was my hitting coach. Tino Martinez is coming around. Matsui comes to Trenton here all the time. I mean, it's just been an awesome journey.
And also Derek Jeter, you had a chance to work with him. Your idol, you wore number 2 in college for him, and when he had a rehab stint, you got a chance to work with him as well.
Yes, I mean, that was one of the highlights of my career, to be honest. I mean, just the way he carried himself, and you could just learn so much from him and the way, his confidence, but more importantly, his character and how he treats people off the field. He's really the same guy that you hear of, because you hear all this stuff as a kid, but you just never know until you meet the actual person. And when I got to meet him, all the great things that I heard about him were true, and it was a really cool moment for me.
Dan, we'll get you out of here on this. I know you're busy. You're getting ready for a game, but you're a New York guy. You're living out a dream playing for the Yankees, for maybe the Capital Region Little Leaguers here or the high schoolers who are hoping to achieve that one day. Walk us through your schedule. What did you have to do this morning? What do you have planned for the rest of the day?
Oh, well, this morning we got up nice and early. We got up at 6. We had an early bus ride to the field, and now we just got into Binghamton. We're playing the Binghamton Mets, so got a little rivalry going with them, so it'd be cool to get out there. I mean, we just got into town, literally just got off the bus, so I'm going to go grab a bite to eat right now, maybe relax for 30 minutes before my bus to the field is around at 2:30. So I'll go to the field, take BP, do my early work in the cages, get my ground balls in, and then probably 40 minutes before the game, we're off the field, grab a quick bite, and then back on for stretch. Game, I think, is at 7 o'clock tonight. So, and that's usually how the days work every day. Obviously, you're not traveling every morning, but there's a lot of travel that goes into the minor league schedule.
Dan Fiorito, member of the AA Trenton Thunder. He just had a chance to work with Alex Rodriguez. He's worked with former Yankees, and we're wishing him the best of luck. Hopefully, in a year, maybe, who knows, a couple months, you'll be a part of that New York Yankee Major League roster, and we'll hear you right here on 104.5 The Team. And John Sterling will have a home run call for you. We're rooting for you, Danny, right here in the Capital Region. Best of luck against the Binghamton Mets.
Guys.
And Dan,
thanks for having me. Great talking to you.
Don't forget to take our calls.
All right, never. All right, all my best, guys.